Hello, and welcome to the Kubernetes KubeBuilder controller runtime and controller tools meeting for Thursday, February 11th, 2021. As a reminder, this is being recorded, so don't say anything you don't want uploaded to YouTube and saved for all posterity. All right, I think we have two items on the agenda. Let me double check and pull that up again. Yeah, two items on the agenda. So the first looks like a check-in on KubeBuilder v3 and the blockers. So does someone want to take that?
I was the one writing it, but if anyone wants to, okay, I will. There are mainly those list. Maybe I can share my screen. 1 second. Okay, so there are maybe mainly two different issues and some documentation issues listed on the version 3 milestone. And well, and they are these ones. The first one was to bump controller runtime to 0.8.0. There was an issue tracking it, pull requests updating it, and it was blocked by a pull request on KubeBuilder declarative pattern that needs second approval, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have been pinging people to check this one to approve, but I could not find nobody. But I would.
I
So
don't know if there is someone in the meeting that is part of this of the KubeBuilder declarative pattern reviewers or approvers.
I can ping Justin and see what's up.
Yeah, I think once we merge that, the pull request in our side needs to be rebased and regenerate probably, and then we can merge that part. The second part was about the multi-arc support. Actually, the pull request, the issue is not closed, but the pull request is already merged. I think it requires to add two different architectures to the G-Cloud list. I think that you could do that. Mm. Basically, Eric submitted a pull request that allows us to create some of the required binaries for test for different architectures, not only for the hard-coded ones. And it listed two other ones in the documentation, but I think that we need to also update the list of the supported architectures in Google Cloud. I don't know who can do that.
I can do that. Yeah, I'll follow up with that too.
And there were like these two additions, and the pull request is already merged, so the issue can be closed actually. And we only need to update them from Google Cloud so that we are able to test them in. I think it's related to the test binaries, but I'm not sure about that. Probably Eric can confirm.
Yeah, I will do that update.
And once those two issues are closed, the other two issues listed in the milestone are related to documentation. The first one is the migration guide that has been receiving a lot of reviews, and it probably can receive a lot of additional reviews and keep improving. But I think we may be able to merge it maybe today, even today, because the documentation we can always update it afterwards as it's linked to a different branch, to the book versus 3 branch. So we actually could improve the documentation afterwards. So I think that after all the issues of all the reviews have been addressed, and I think that Camila already did that, we should be able to merge this one. I don't know if you want to add anything, Camila, about that.
No, I think a lot of people did the reviews. I addressed the solo ones as well. I agreed with that. And yeah, documentation, it's hard. It's back and forwards. I believe that is very close to be shaped enough, at least for remerge. Uh, I know that it's boring do this kind of a review, but if someone has time to, please feel free to make all suggestions and give you all feedbacks and help to wording better as well. If you see that it's possible, and yeah, you'll be happy as soon as possible address your comments. And yeah, and they, in my humble opinion, don't need to be perfect, but if it's 18%, 80%, 90% is good enough to be merged, I think we can address any other concern after as well. I agree
Yeah,
with that.
there's been a bunch of reviews on it as well, so I'm thinking it's close to good to go. I haven't had a chance to look at it. If I find some time today, then I will. But don't wait for me.
I'm not native in English, so more reviews to check if I don't make any mistake in grammar, you'll be fine as well. Or if I write in something in a strange way. So please, all kinds of reviews and feedbacks are more than welcome for we achieve the goal.
And after we merge that, there's also some maintenance work to do about creating the branch is created, the version 3 branch, the book version 3. We probably have to move it to the same as the release, and we have to link the domains properly. I don't know who has access to that.
I think it should be anybody in the KubeBuilder admins group, but I don't know how that's kept in sync by the org people. I know at least I have access to it.
More one?
Theoretically, like it should be any of the people in KubeBuilder admins, and if it's not, we can work with upstream to get the rest of y'all access. But yeah.
I created the
follow up with that.
branch. I created the branch, but I don't know how to make the book v3 be master.
Yeah, so there's a thing you have to do in Netlify, basically. And so it just depends on who has access to Netlify. And if other people don't have access to Netlify, we need to get everybody on that list is supposed to be trusted, and with stuff like Netlify. So we should get y'all access if you don't have it.
There are a lot of maintenance tasks. I'm sorry, Solly. And those will be the only 3 things that are listed as in the milestone for version 3.0.0. There are a lot of issues open and a couple pull requests, but the pull requests, I've been reviewing them and they don't need to be addressed right now. And I don't know about the issues. I don't know if there is any issue that should be addressed before version 3.0.0, or if any of you guys knows of anything that we should address before releasing. But I think those 3 things are the main topics.
I would like to touch on bumping controller runtime to 0.80. So we don't have a controller runtime release that's, a KubeBuilder release that supports 1.19. And I think the 3.0.0 Go v3 plugin was supposed to do that. if we bump to controller runtime 080, then we won't have a release that supports 119. So I'm of the opinion that we first cut 300 with 119 and controller runtime 070, and then immediately after that, bump to controller runtime 080 and cut another release 3.1.
+1 for that as well.
Also, bumping to control runtime .8 would break the compatibility with version 119.
It doesn't. There are actually no breaking changes between these two controller runtime versions, or 119 and 120. So it wouldn't be another major version in KubeBuilder or another plugin, but it's more a matter of supporting the range of Kubernetes versions that exist.
Oh, okay. Okay. So we should release with 0.7.0, and the next KubeBuilder version, we can bump that without breaking changes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I guess then we should, I don't know if anyone has anything against that, or... Well, if nobody has anything against that, I think we should remove it from the milestone so that we...
Sure. For the both ways, for me, it's fine. I think it's okay. We put it for the 3.1. I can do that now.
Yeah.
3.1, sorry.
For the KubeBuilder declarative pattern PR, is that just a bump to the Godot mod? Like, is that, how is that blocking us bumping?
It's because there's some dependency that is used in declarative pattern. We would have to pin the same dependency in the Go project in order for you not to see module conflicts.
Okay. I see,
Yeah.
yeah. I see what's going on there. Yeah.
This Justin Santa Barbara guy, I don't know if he's on the call or not, but he's been kind of hard to get a hold of, and I think the other reviewer on here I've pinged them on Slack, and I think they responded positively, but I don't know if they've reviewed it or approved it yet. Obviously they haven't approved it, but I think I have Justin's email, so I might send him an email about it. He's also not on Slack.
Yeah, I can ping him too. I think he's just very, very busy at the moment.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'll give him a ping.
Cool, thank you.
If he would you like to, I doesn't know if one idea as well could be we ask for permission to be approval there. Someone, I don't know, that is active in KubeBuilder, because this will face again soon enough. So just to make easier the process.
Yeah, I think it may actually be supposed to be the set of like, there's a thing in owners aliases that says KubeBuilder admins that is just the very old copy of KubeBuilder admins. So it may actually supposed to be overlap with KubeBuilder admins. In which case, my plan was just basically to ping Justin and be like, do you mind if we do whatever we want? Because I think I can give approval on that one. I would like to make sure it's not like, yeah, actually, there's nothing that should mess this up. I will give approval, and then I will ping Justin to see what's up with this repo. And I think we can probably just sync that list, because that is just like a really old list.
The thing is that Eric asked and we agreed to not merge 0.8.0 for version 3 of KubeBuilder. So right now it's not super high priority. It's high priority, but not super high priority. So maybe we can give Justin a day or something, or well, I think he has been pinged
I
already
think
and he didn't answer, so I don't know.
I think it is open for a while. When his PR was open.
Yeah, he's probably super busy and can't. Yeah, he was pinged like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, because it's okay. It's not blocking 3.0, but we also should made very fast after that a second release. So the 3.1 done.
I think we could just go ahead and merge
Yeah.
it and make sure that Justin is okay with it retroactively.
And if you be able, for the next ones, if it be possible, if it is be helpful and they agree, and it could put us like to approval, just to approval this kind of silly thing, just the bump stuff. Would be nice as well. For don't be boring with them, just to solve this kind of small thing.
Okay, so we're good to go on this PR then.
Okay, I would say that we should set a date for I don't know when, but when will we merge the documentation? Maybe, I don't know if it's today, in a week, or what, but we should set a date so that anyone that wants to make suggestions can do it until then, and then we merge that one. And after that, everything we need to do to release 3.0 is like actually submitting the level and things like that. So I think that once we merge the documentation, I don't know, when do you guys think that we should merge it? Maybe today, or I don't know. I
Probably
would be
today.
fine with merging it today because it has received a lot of reviews. So
Yeah, that's probably fine.
But more than one round, if someone have time to give more one round, please feel free. I'll try to address exactly, exactly the same moment. I'll see the notification and I'll address all comments.
and unless anyone has
How many
anything else-
rounds did it already have?
We have a lot, but it change a lot of things as well, because before we thought to make a documentation where we put like the plugins and the project version in another structure. So this changed the structure and it changed the information as well. So because of this, the approach, how we will explain the steps changed a lot. So I think more one round would be nice.
it has received 153 comments.
Yeah, but it has other layouts as well. No, I'm fine. I just if more one round, probably.
And Camila has been also pinging in Slack and people who already contributed like for at least a week. So I think that everyone has had a chance to submit. And the other thing that I want to make clear is that even if we want to modify something of this documentation and we do it in a further pull request, we can just change the book version 3 branch to that commit and the documentation will be updated. So I think we don't need to block the release on this.
I agree.
So if does anyone have anything else to say about version 3, or should we move to the next point in the agenda?
I'm good. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead. I think the next one is yours too.
Yeah. One of the things that we had like in a backlog for quite a while was creating a plugin phase 2 that included chaining plugins and also binary plugins out of 3 and different. We wanted to be fully featured, but I think that it's mainly the operator SDK is using alpha releases because it needs some features that we are adding and it doesn't have them. And I think that the plugin phase 2 is too big to be handled in a single step. So I submitted an enhancement proposal that includes a small set of what we wanted to address for plugin phase 2 in this enhancement proposal. It actually has only received a small review. I don't know if you guys could give it a review. It basically will allow plugins to be chained together so that we can do things like the declarative pattern, move it to a plugin, or the things that we are doing, the operator SDK is doing, instead of wrapping and the whole base plugin and doing things over it. It would be just an addition after we have scaffolded with the base plugins. The enhancement proposal can be found here. It defines the different methods that will be supported by the plugins, and which order will they be, and for which commands will they be executed. And there's also an implementation pull request that already does this. The implementation pull request has received 0 reviews, and it's a pretty big one. It already does everything that is listed in the enhancement proposal. So if you guys have some time to review both the proposal and the pull request and the implementation, it could be nice, because I think that if we get this won't get merged for version 3, but if we merge it for version 3.1, it will simplify the development of plugins from now on.
Yeah, I meant to take a look at the EP, and I still intend to. Based
I'll look it
on
over as well.
Yeah, based on what I've already seen, I'm probably just going to LGTM it, but just want to make sure that everything makes sense in there. Thanks for submitting that.
All right, I think there's one last item on the agenda from Camilla about the road towards 1.0. So do you want to talk about that a little bit, Camilla?
I believe that it will be very fast. I created this link where if you be able to click on just to share in the screen, I appreciate a lot. We will be able to check all issues in the controller runtime that is not in a milestone, that it has not the new label breaking change. So for we build the roadmap and know what should be addressed before 1.0, at least what is a breaking change in the backlog, before we start to identify that. I think would be the link with all issues that we need to check, analyze. Vince gave the idea of we try to do this, each person tries to do this in the spare time, check it, I don't know, few issues per day, until we are able to check all. But for we remove it from this link, we need some kind of, or we need to put in a milestone, which I think that would be not nice with this proposal. But I thought like if we create a milestone next or something like that, or another label, just check it, something like that, just for we are able to filter from this link and we know what issues is still requiring someone give a look and see if you think it's a break change or not. Could I clarify more or less my idea? She doesn't know if this makes sense.
So we
I
need
think
to go
so.
through the issues.
Sorry?
Yeah,
was
I think.
just- Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Sorry. I think we just need to go through the issues. I guess asynchronously, and we need to get them in some state. I think, Camilla, you were saying like basically this is the list of all issues that like haven't been triaged, for lack of a better term. Right? Like,
Yes. Have it not been triaged in, we don't know if he has a break change or not, because it's not in a milestone, or doesn't it have the label break change? But okay, for example, if I go there in this list and check the first three ones, how I remove it from this list? You know, I'm trying to find a way to filter what was checked already. Because it probably don't need to do to synchronize everybody. Each person can like take a few time to try to check, because I believe that the idea is not to decide when should be done. It was like just to filter what is a breaking change or not. So I just would like a way to remove it from this list what someone already give a look and consider that is not a break change at all.
I mean, we could make a milestone for like post 1.0 things, and we could just start, or we could use Next for that purpose, maybe. And we could start putting things in there. Or we could just add a label non-breaking. Do people have preferences?
I think the milestone makes sense because it's you know, to create a new label for it.
Yeah, I think just for what it's worth, like that's fine with me. For what it's worth, I think the main difference is that more people can assign a label than can assign a milestone. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing in this case, but yeah, we could just create a milestone for like post 1.0.
I think it makes sense to gate the breaking change bit because that only comes after like some pretty hefty discussion and confirmation from project maintainers that it is a breaking change that we want.
Okay. I can either create the milestone a little later today, or if someone else that's on the milestone maintainers or KubeBuilder or control runtime admins list beats me to it, that's fine too.
What name? I can do that as well if you wish. But what name we can put next or post 1.0?
I just say post 1.0.
Okay. And then the maintainers also know that it is like something that someone, any person just look and move it for there. It's not a commitment at all. Probably someone you need to review that after as well.
Yeah, you could just add a comment, like you can add in the description of the milestone, be like, this is for, you know, the road to 1.0 triage. It's not necessarily a commitment, it's just a help us find all the breaking changes versus not breaking changes.
Sure. It's fine. I can do that. Really, thank you, folks.
All right. So does anyone else have anything that they'd like to talk about this week, or shall we call it? I will take that as a let's call it. And I will see y'all in a couple weeks.
Thanks, folks.